For all of you who are just tuning in, this is episode 37 of the Split Screen Experience.
Split Swing.
Yeah, we're here again.
It's our outing following our return from Ren Fair.
Yes. A lot of walking, maybe some sunburn. I didn't sunburn, surprisingly.
We know who did.
I think only our resident Ginger did.
Correct.
Which is Skippy.
His neck was red by the time we hit the gate, I'm pretty sure. I think that line out front was what did him in. I think he was already turning.
I definitely know I need to not wear a long sleeve shirt. I need to find
honestly
like a short sleeve shirt.
See, I was comfortable.
It wasn't bad when we were walking around. I think when we sat there for a little bit, then like the sun was just on us constantly. And then it kind of got a little too hot. But like even despite drinking pretty heavily that day, I wasn't like dying of heat or anything like that.
Yeah. It was, but yeah, the stagnant is where, like, when we stopped to watch the women on horseback do archery, or like when we were stuck at the gate waiting to get in, and it was like, man, I'm gonna die here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me on the inside felt like the outside of that guy we saw by the strength competition who ralphed uncontrollably for like 2 minutes straight on the ground.
Yeah.
You okay, buddy? You okay?
I was like, I gotta be responsible. In that moment, I was able to like harness my senses and be like, hey man, do you need a water or something? He's like, no, I don't feel so good. I'm like, I know. Do you need the water? He's like, no. I'm like, all right.
I knew it was going to happen after every single swing on that strongman thing. He did like 3 circles after each swing when he'd hit the bell, and then he'd just kind of sit there for a second and either go to the ground or stumble all the way to the back of the line.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're definitely going to... One of these hits is definitely going to cause you to yak.
Yep, pretty
Sure
much.
enough.
Guess what ended up happening?
But yeah, other than that instance, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time. Gotta go back.
Jarrett got his wizard staff. Harmon got a
My
dice
wizard
jail.
staff.
No, I got a flask.
Thought you got dice jail.
The dice jail came with the flask.
Oh, okay.
I got it for free.
I got railroaded into a very expensive tankard, but it's okay. It's pretty cool.
I feel like you railroaded yourself.
No, because all the prices that I saw up to that point were like 55. I was like, all right, that seems reasonable. And I get up there, actually it's 90. And I'm like, are you... And she said it after she put the lid on it. And I was just like, bro, but whatever. I'm at Ren Fair. I'll pay the extra money. I don't care.
So $90 for that. And then you bought, was it 2 or 3 of the cakes?
It was like 4.
You bought 4 cakes?
Yeah.
Now, to be fair for everyone listening, they are little in a jar alcoholic cakes, which I still have mine in the fridge. That's going to be my little treat tonight, my little sweet treat.
I'd say
those weren't cheap.
Total, I think I spent around like $350.
Ah!
Somewhere around there.
Jesus. I think
I guess.
I bought a bunch of drinks and food and all that other shit.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I think I did 3 double meads and some other things.
I mean, each drink purchase was at least $18 or more.
Right.
And then there was also the turkey leg, which was like $15. The Guinness dog, which was like $9.
Mm-hmm. I got 2 rounds of those bacon Gouda bites.
I did. I saw you disappear and come back with Gouda bites, and then you left again, and you came back with Gouda.
They're so good. I mean, like, they're not even like that good, or I think it's just like you're walking around the heat, and you have some cold drinks. You're having a good time, and it's just the novelty of fried cheese and bacon, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I do. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't think I spent all that much because I didn't end up with any like knickknacks or anything. Because like you, Cole, and Skippy did the heritage thing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't regret that purchase. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. You know, kind of at least roughly trace some lineage stuff, unless someone in your family lied. Because I know there's been a couple of people, like there was a person like a couple years ago when I went to Ren, there was a guy who had apparently already been there the day before, bought a ticket to come back in, or he had a season pass, came back in to yell at them because apparently his family name isn't really that name because he's like, well, actually, you guys are frauds because our ancestry stuff says our real last name is this. And they're like, then why didn't you tell us that name? Because apparently somewhere along the way, a guy had like a last name like Brigham and he changed it to like Smith. It's like, well, telling him Smith doesn't help
like,
you.
Like all they do is like, what's your name? We'll look it up. We'll get basic information on the family name. Get your crest. Boom.
Yeah. Like that stuff. It's
Like,
all
they're not-
like database based. Like it's not like a legitimate like genome study.
No. Yeah, they're literally the historical society. They just kind of look it up and they're all right, cool.
Right.
Maybe add a thing or two in there to make it sound cooler, but
yeah, this family herded off 39 packs of wolves in a single evening. It's like, well, that's kind of cool. What do you think the real story was? One guy got drunk and fucked the wolf.
It was just a group of drunk people versus like one like non-drunk person.
It was a group of drunk men versus one very adolescent dog. And like, yeah, we killed like 39 packs of wolves. And the woman like, wow, that's so impressive.
Watching the guys go all out in the metal suits, full plate armor was awesome.
That was fucking sick.
The one guy was like 3v1ing at one point and like winning.
And I love it. It was like no finesse at all. It was like the equivalent of like that scene in Shrek 1 where there's like boxing all the knights. And it's like,
yeah, fancy a pint.
Yeah, it's just all out mango. It's like, that's awesome. Like
in most places, they're like, all right, so this is the finesse of dodging, parrying, and striking these vulnerable spots. This was okay. We're gonna hit him until he doesn't move no more.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
He won't stop screaming.
A lot of those two sounded, yeah. Give me a hammer. Them bitches ain't moving. Blunt force drama.
That's what Jared's like. Jared's like, I don't want a sword. I want a hammer.
Fuck using a bladed weapon. Give me a blunt weapon.
Mm-hmm. I want him to hemorrhage. Here's my morning
star. It'd be easier to grab the handle. You could just bash them down to the ground. Like, be very easy.
Go on, Jared. Talk about how easy it would be for you to take a human life.
Let it be known that Jared would be an archer back then, so he wouldn't even see real combat.
No,
he'd be a serf. Like,
yes, I would be out in the fields picking like wheat and shit.
Yeah. He'd wear your fucking that same burlap sack outfit that every one of those characters wears in every piece of media ever.
Yes.
Speaking of outfits, we need to coordinate better so 3 of us don't look the exact same.
For the record, I'm not part of this. I was wearing blue. 3 other idiots wore white, and then Cole was Night's Watch.
That was freaking dope, though. I like that cape a lot, or the cloak.
Yeah. He put that on. He's like, oh yeah, I'm wearing black. I'm like, okay, so I thought he got like the same style as us, just in black. It's like, no, you got because at first he walks out. I'm like, yeah, Princess Bride, like literally looks 1-to-1 minus the mask. And then he goes and picks that up. I'm like, where'd you get that? He puts it on. I'm like, it's Vikings. It's not Game of Thrones weekend. Like,
yeah.
But he did look cool.
Then if we do steampunk next year, I got my costume I'm already planning.
I mean, or you just wear it to a normal weekend because as we saw, like it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, we saw Goku.
And we saw Goku and Master Chief. That's true.
Hey, it's me, Goku.
I think Goku got more like reaction out of anyone there.
I was like, oh, look,
yellow spiky hair, bright orange gi. Yeah, he was very noticeable. And I swear that fucker was teleporting because I swear we would walk past him and then he would like appear in front of us again.
Instant transmission, dog.
He's training, dog.
I guess so.
I was training too.
Yeah, same.
Liver till failure. Liver till failure.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you guys are training for?
That and yeah, a food contest where you 3, not you 3, but you, Coleman, and Skippy all got the obnoxiously large turkey legs, and then each proceeded to eat about a third of your respective ones, meaning you should have just Lady and a Tramped one.
Pretty much.
I kept trying. I ate quite a bit before I was like, I gotta give up.
I mean, you probably ate like half or like 3/4.
Yeah, but you probably were less reluctant to eat it once that bee landed on top of it.
Yeah, it didn't really bother me, but at the same time, I ate a lot of that, and then I also had a Guinness dog, and
True.
at that point, I was like, I'm pretty full.
Yeah,
Like I
you ate
can't.
that thing in like fucking 3 minutes. By the way, like it's a massive
Yeah.
half-pound, like foot-long dog, and I'm like savoring mine. I'm at like a halfway point, which is about where I capped out on it because I just wanted to try some other food, and then fucking I turn around and Jared's already done 3 minutes later. I'm like, dog, like, what are you doing? He's like, it was good. Like licking his lips,
I,
doing the finger thing, takes off his
I didn't.
handkerchief. Like,
I didn't want to carry it around. I just it was like it's better. You're better safe. It's safer in my belly.
it's a half a pound of meat.
Yes. It's a
And that's
lot.
the type of meat that doesn't like reduce a whole lot when you cook it.
No.
Half pound in, half pound out, and then it's going to be a half pound out, you know?
Yes, probably why I got up like 4 times in the middle of the night.
Out here fighting for your life, 12 a.m.
Me
Yes.
and Jared
Painting the
trying to
bowl.
sleep. Andrew's dog. Allow me to introduce myself.
I said, like, I was trying to get him to come in, and Jared's like, oh, he's fine. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, because he was curled up in the blankets being a good boy. And then he wasn't.
He's fine up until like I must stand up, go in the middle of the room, and start like licking myself very obnoxiously. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm gonna leave you outside for the fucking hawk to come down and take you.
There ain't gonna be a hawk to pick that fucker up.
He's dense. He's heavier than you think, too. Like, he looks fat, and then, like, he's heavy. He's heavier than you think, even for that size. And I'm like, dude. He's also just built like that. Technically, he's not even fat. Most of it's rib cage. He's just built weird because he's like a little bastard baby, but like he yearns for death anyway. If you left him out for the hawk and they took him, he'd be thanking you. He just wants to be down.
I was kind of upset that we didn't get to see like any joust. I know they kind of had like practicing when we were going on, but our time never really lined up to see any joust.
Yeah, this is like that's why I was like, oh, like there's a schedule. There's like, and like while we were there, like and like Jared went over to like the map board, and like they had like a thing next to it, and I was like, yeah, like if you want to like do a thing at a time, just communicate, and we can rally behind that, or split into groups, however we want to do that. Whatever. And then it proceeded to be we never were on time for anything. We kind of just half watched a couple things and then kept moving and drinking. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. The more alcohol I consumed, the more I was just kind of like, oh, let's keep walking around.
I gotta get my steps in.
It's like
Pretty
I gotta
much.
work off this alcohol somehow.
It's good for the bones.
My bones will be titanium.
Yeah, that was good. I was happy with how it turned out for the most part.
Crazy that it was sold out. And that there was a wedding happening the next day.
And that day sold out too.
I figured.
That's just wild.
I think it would be fun to have a wedding there, but God, would there be so many external factors, like people being assholes, weather.
Well, I know there'd be people like me. I'd end up being so sloshed, I'd walk into the wedding and be like, how the fuck did I get here? Like,
Yeah,
what the
Jared's
hell
the
is
type
going
of person that I would worry about.
Hello, everyone. Well, that's a pretty lady in the wedding dress.
Do I get the first dance?
Are you single? Clearly just married. No. Prude.
Yeah, I can see Jared doing that.
Fine, I institute prima nocta.
Yeah, that'll go. I institute prima nocta.
We're at Ren Fair. It's medieval rules. Haha.
I'm just LARPing that I want to sleep with your new wife.
I did see a guy. Andrew said his name, but I keep forgetting the knight from Dark Souls 1. Big Sun Knight.
I'm going through every Dark Souls name but his. Solaire.
Yeah. That guy's outfit was rad.
Yeah.
It looked really good.
Cool.
But in terms of like people cosplaying characters, it was mainly just people doing their own thing.
And then there was just a random like Doctor Strange or like Marvel, and I'm just like, dog,
Well,
it's Ren Fair.
the Captain America one was cool because like that's what I was saying. Like if you take like a modern character and you medievalize them, that's neat.
Yeah, there was also Deadpool and Wolverine. They were medieval. They medieval their characters too, which they look dope as hell.
It's a cool thing. It's transformative with the original thing. Like I like, yeah, like they've posted like the pictures, and I know Harmon saw them with the one he went to prior to us going, where it's like the Mandalorians, but like it's like a Mandalorian helmet, but it's a Viking helmet. Like it's got like the Nord helmet from Skyrim, like the iconic like Dovahkiin look, stuff like that. It's like that's neat. Like, but if you're just some dude walking around like a fucking Spider-Man suit at Ren Fair on any weekend, I kind of want to hit you.
Yes,
because like I'd rather like out of those two, because I know the question was posed while we were there. Out of dressing up at all, but not themed, versus not dressing up in any capacity, the answer is not dress up.
Right.
Like you walk around in jeans and a hoodie doesn't bother me at all. You walking around intentionally being like, this is just so funny that I'm Keanu Reeves from Cyberpunk. It's like, all right, like,
get it? He was there in that time.
Yeah, and or stupid things like, oh, it's technically they use swords and stuff. So Demon Slayer, we saw that.
Andrew, we got a new video game today, or I guess this week, and Andrew's been
yesterday
a little happy boy.
I'm very happy.
Wait, it's in stock. Move. Yes, pre-order. Go. Fuck.
What's he on?
I have no clue. I'm assuming Adderall.
Damn it. No. I downloaded Hot Stock again to have to alert me like for the stock, like if like PlayStation 30th anniversary controller comes back in stock, because I'm not paying all that money for the console or anything, but like I wouldn't mind a controller that's like PS1 themed.
Yeah, but like your company thought it'd be a good idea to make like 1,000 of them and call it a day.
Yeah,
so
it makes sense. Hey, let's just make very limited quantities of this. Let the scalpers buy them. Fuck the consumer. And then also, we're not going to release any other cool customizable fins for your PlayStation. Like, we're going to do that very rarely, even though we're like bringing lawsuits against like third party people who are doing it.
Like, here's how like everything should be handled, right? Everything like that, anything special edition, whatever, should be handled as follows. They take pre-orders, and the people put their money and they go ahead and pay for whatever the good or service, whatever it is. Okay, paid for. The company then goes, okay, we got 120,000 pre-orders, let's just say. And then based off their like supplier, whatever, they probably have to order probably not that exact number. So they overshoot. So instead of 120, they buy like 125K. So they have that excess. That is stuff that is available to be just bought after the pre-sale. Because everyone who really wants one has a shot to declare they want one and then get one. And then anyone who didn't do that has a shot to maybe get it, or you're dealing with scalpers, which again, it wouldn't be that hard to crack down on scalpers, but we just choose not to.
I feel like they could even get around this problem by like saying like, all right, first come first serve. So like we're having this product, like you can use your PlayStation account to pre-order. Like use it for like the store, because I mean scalpers, at least I'd hope they're not going to make all these PlayStation accounts in order to do that. And also I feel like if they see an influx of like these like random accounts, I feel like their security will kind of pick up on these are like not real accounts.
Well, that's what they did in Japan. Japan, they instituted a rule like your PSN account had to have like so many hours on it, or you weren't allowed to buy there.
Well, Jarrett, this is also coming from an era where we're plagued with Smurf, Xbox, and PlayStation accounts, to where it's common for most people to have more than one account now.
People are just losers. Like, you don't need to have more than one account. Like,
yeah,
like literally, it defeats the whole purpose. I feel like, but at the same time, companies need to be like, there's people making Smurf accounts. We probably should take a look at some of our things. Cough, cough. Rainbow Six Siege.
I think you just mean competitive shooters in general, bud.
Pretty much. Like, I mean, it's just like, oh man, this guy has like no hours on his account, and his only game is this competitive shooter.
And then like free to play titles to buff up the repertoire.
Yep.
And pretty much.
It's just dumb.
You
I
get
mean,
it.
like, we don't have to do all this. There's a simple, like a legal thing we institute where if an item is being sold, particularly of a technical nature, is being sold higher than its given MSRP, whatever that listing's coming from, lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no circumstance where you should ever like upscale now, like it may, and then maybe make it after like X amount of time after the product came out, then you can go up higher. Because I understand like a like pristine edition, like like a completely unopened box PS2 original in today's market would go for more than the thing sold for back then.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. But like after like a couple years, whatever, then it can go up. But like you shouldn't see like a ticket for a concert. I know this isn't tech, but same idea. If tickets for a concert were being sold, that seat was being sold for $450, and that's its MSRP, and it's being relisted for $700. Sue them into the ground. Add that to the list of the antitrust shit where it's like that's not like above board for business practice. Like, no. You institute a contract with these companies, that's it. You could sell it for equal to or less than. Because like let's say, you were talking you're like, damn, I really want a PS5 Pro, said two people online. And that guy's girlfriend and mom both got him one. So now he has two, but he doesn't want to tell one of them like, oh, he already got one. So he would list it or take it to the store for $700, $800, whatever that piece of junk's selling for, and whatever, or or less if he's trying to sell it like secondhand and someone doesn't want to trust it, because at a certain point people get a little lenient about, or a little untrusting about people buying stuff online. That'd be different.
Mm-hmm.
But you would never go higher, and that's why that's all you have to do. We don't need to do this whole because if you add, well, you have to play on the account enough to justify this. They're just going to leave their Xbox on or the PlayStation on Fortnite in the menu for 36 hours straight at a time to rack up the account time.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. Like on that end, that's like ideally at this point we just have to require like the sacrifice of a virgin to be able to purchase anything. But
it's just so fresh. Like, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna buy the rights to this pre-order and we're gonna sell that. And it's like, first of all, as a consumer, I'm not trusting that at all.
mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit there and buy the rights to a pre-order. Like, no, out of principle, I'm not paying scalper shit.
Right.
Like, and then there's people that are defending it. It's like, well, they have families to feed and shit. It's like, get a job. Literally get a job. You are just
Jared,
being
that is their
the
job.
scum of the earth.
They buy everything up and then sell it. And
like,
make
if
a profit.
they are really that strapped for cash, then they probably shouldn't be buying things for outrageous prices or expensive things and then just reselling them. And then, like, if everybody just didn't buy from scalpers, they'd be fucked. They'd literally be in financial ruin.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, because like if you buy something with the sole purpose of then flipping it without doing anything transformative to it, you should be shot.
Pretty much.
Because like it's one thing you buy a shitty rundown house, you fix it up, you put it back on the market for a lot more than you bought it for and put into it, but you did something to transform the thing. You did work. You did the things. Cool. You should be compensated for that. You buying a Taylor Swift ticket for $800 and then turning around selling it for $6,000 because some dad out there is currently being pestered by his daughter who is sobbing uncontrollably because she can't get a ticket. So he feels like he's going to have to take out a second mortgage against the house just to pay for the stupid ticket. And then he'll pay it because he wants his daughter to be happy. Like,
so you get it. You're understanding.
It's just dumb.
Like, easy money. It's easy money.
It's like, oh, that's just what they do. It's like, no, like, I mean, people who like sell like blood and semen have more of a job than that guy. Like,
right.
So back to Sparking Zero.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that is where we started, huh?
Yeah, then Jared started getting happy in the mic and quickly lost that happiness.
Literally, it just gave me PTSD back to when we are trying to get the next gen consoles back in like 2021.
The good old days.
After work every day, just waiting in my truck for a couple minutes, and then, oh my god, it's there! Go, go, go! And then driving like an hour and a half to go pick the fucking thing up.
Because you got it sent that far away.
No, I got both my consoles through Target, which was a first for me. and that was the only place that was consistently dropping them within like driving distance, and the only place they were dropping them was like Mansfield. So like I was like, you know what, I'll bite the bullet. Like, I'll get food on the way down, and then I'll drive back.
I just waited.
Nah, like mine was on the last like it was. At least my Xbox was like, it was the 2013 edition or whatever, and I was like, I need to upgrade. I need it. Like, it's time.
Like my thing with that era was like I was just literally running into like 3 games I wanted to play that were only next gen. I was like, all right, now's the time. I gotta do it. And then you know how many of those games I think I've played? I don't think any of the ones that because like I wanted to play like the big one I really wanted to play on, but it's only next gen. At least at the time, it might have had a backwards port by now. Was that horror game, The Medium?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And I still have not played it.
It's good. I liked it.
I know. It literally has just become like that is my thing that's forever at the bottom of the stack, and it's never going up because it's always something new. Like Sparking Zero came out, stuff like that, and it will always just push that further down. Like I'll clear a couple things off the top, but I'll never touch anything near that bottom little. I mean, I don't have like a massive stack. I just know that is the bottom. I think that is the last or the earliest thing that I wanted to play that I still haven't.
Then you got Veilguard later in the month.
Yeah. Still have to buy that.
Yeah, that game better. I swear to God, better.
I mean,
it'll be good.
It turned gold, and I've heard lots of good things.
So
there are the haters on there, but
I've seen more positive than negative, which is a good sign.
Yeah,
especially from BioWare,
who desperately needs a win. Like,
well, did you see the little clip they released the other day? Like with, I'm assuming Rook fighting a dragon. Like from that clip itself, it looked fine, but like it didn't look like the art style that they teased us. Where I was a little worried, where I didn't care for the art style being used in that trailer. That was way back. I can't even remember when that was.
That was the showcase. Shout out to that video on Odd Horizons. Look up Xbox Showcase and you'll see what I'm talking about. But because we talked about that the other night because you sent me that clip. I still think it kind of looks like they've definitely gone for a different artistic direction in this game, which again, I'm not saying is a good or bad thing. It is just I can identify things in it that don't look in the same nature as we've seen in like Inquisition.
See, it looks I can't remember if I don't remember if Inquisition was made in Unreal 5. I don't think it was.
No, Unreal 5.
I feel like
one look at a face, and I can tell you right there, it was not.
Well, or I don't know. Is Veilguard made in Unreal 5, or is it? I think part of the art design choice might come from the fact that their studios actually like upgrading their engine and like moving forward with the times than some other studios that just refuse.
Don't they use the Frostbite one or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. Actually,
it sounds familiar.
That's one that EA's used in the past.
Yeah, they use Frostbite for newer titles. They used Unreal 3 for the Mass Effect trilogy,
which was peak. That was good. Speaking of Unreal 5, we got a little snippet of Halo.
I'm not holding my breath.
Does it look good? I'm a Halo believer. I don't give a fuck. I'm a Halo believer.
And then you gotta wait like a year for Forge to come out.
That's okay. I'm a Halo believer.
I mean, not really, considering, Infinite was, again, the title that they said confidently in marketing that was supposed to last 10 years, and it didn't reach the 10-month mark. Like, it still has people who play it, but, like, again, there are fundamental issues that just still haven't been addressed, and they're, like, common things. It's not just, like, our group saying it or whatever. Like, certain guns feel, like, atrocious to use. Like, they just do no damage and stuff like that. Or, like, Blood Gulch still not being in the game. Like, there's just core tenets of Halo that are missing there that they just didn't get. Or, like, the shop prices that have exponentially grown. That's one thing I've seen. They released that, like, set of stuff, like, 4 months ago. They added a bunch of new like sets into the shop, and like someone said, if you bought all these, it would be $170. And I'm like, that's too much.
Well,
See, I feel-
Reach and Halo 3 don't have Blood Gulch.
They have the map that's basically Blood Gulch and Reach.
I feel like that's kind of like a product of the time we live in, with like the cosmetics and stuff being 170. But like, just because like a bunch of games now are just like, we're gonna release these cool cosmetics, we're gonna make it like if you get the collection, it's gonna be worth like 3 times the base price of the game, and that's just okay
Right.
because microtransactions are integral to the gaming community.
Like, again, there's a way you can do, and like half of their stuff they did for their micro, again, like the Halo Infinite Battle Pass system is the way of the future, 100%. For 90% of games, that is what they should do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes sense that you can pick whatever one at whatever time and earn it. You're never locked out. You don't miss out on a thing you purchase. You don't lose your access to thing. Yeah, you invest in money into, or you just didn't play during that time. You get into the game late and you feel like you're getting punished in half these games because you can't get half the cool shit. But
Yep.
then you have, again, like no base, like very minimal base cosmetic stuff. Other than you can change a little bit of color, a couple things here and there. And then do you want to be an amputee or not? It's like, I'm all for, like, you have like a decent catalog of stuff, and then you sell, like, do battle passes, sure, and then sell maybe a couple special things. Like they did the that Tenrai event where you can earn like the samurai set. I'm fine with you charging for that because that's something that's not in Halo already. That is something new and definitely like a unique design,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But not being like, oh, do you want? Hey, look at the shirt that we had in all the other ones. It's like, wow, is that the Mark IV helmet? And you're like, you bet it's the Mark IV.
Like I will say, like, this is kind of a little off topic, but going back to like game engines. What engine was used for the other Halos? Like, because I mean, they're making the jump to Unreal 5, but like, were they using like an in-house engine?
I
Or
want to
was it
say yes, because that's why like it's a big deal. Yeah, it is an in-house one known as Slipstream or Slipspace. That's what I thought, because yeah, that's why it's a big deal that they're moving to a third-party one, because it could spell them looking to move it to PlayStation.
Like at the same, or like from a development time standpoint, wouldn't it be quicker to just kind of use third-party game engines just so you don't have to like spend the time to make it in-house?
But you have to spend the money to use them out of house.
That's fair too.
So it's, you know, how much money and time are you willing to buy in with versus, well, we can just pay, or most engines will you just like start using them, and then it'll be like games made within that engine after you've sold like X amount or like made X amount of money, then you start paying a haircut on it. That's how like Unreal works with Epic. That's Epic's big initiative, is like, unless your game makes X amount of money, they don't take any of it.
Right.
Which is neat. And certain ones, we saw Unity tried to do that stupid shit where they're going to make it like charge the developer 10 cents every time someone downloaded a game that used Unity, which meant people could have just set up bots to like automatically download and uninstall games over and over again just to bankrupt developers.
That would be ridiculous.
which definitely would have happened.
Yeah, and they walked it back, only because of public backlash. And then they tried to do that thing where they're like, well, we never said that we were going to do that. It's like, you didn't say you weren't going to do it when it came up. And they're like, oh, you know.
Well, you know. Anyway, let's look at this.
Look, our CEO stepping down now. It's like, cool.
Yeah, well, I think we should probably step down from this episode.
Yeah.
End it. We're going on
I suppose
a little bit longer than normal.
Okay, we got stuff to talk about. We got ideas. We got thoughts.
Bye, everyone.